Hey, kitty girls, welcome to Cubs Out Loud Drag Race T-Time, episode number 8 of season 18. And did you miss us? We kind of messed with the schedule a little bit, but we're back.
Hey.
So we're going to be covering the last 3 episodes of the current season 18 that just wrapped. We had Good Morning Bitches, all RuPaul-A-Paruza Smackdown, and of course the finale. For those of you that don't know, my name is Gary, and with me is my ever fabulous co-host.
Hello, everyone. It's Damon. Hi. How you doing? How your mama?
And yeah, we took a week off to like kind of bring the whole thing together. So we're going to catch up on where things shook out in the final laps of the race, so to speak, and who eventually got the crown.
Mm-hmm.
So with that being said, are you ready to jump in?
I'm so ready.
All right.
Racers, start your engines, and may the best drag queen win.
All right. So put the pedal to the metal. These are our overall thoughts on these particular episodes. We kind of break them down into 3 general areas: serves, swerves, and nerves. You would think I would know it better by now. Serves are the positive things, swerves are the negative things that stood out to us. And then last but not least is nerve, which could be really good positive or really bad negative. So with that being said, Damon, what are you giving serves for?
So, I'm gonna give some serves to the lip sync brackets for the RuPaul-A-Paruza SmackDown.
Okay.
I thought it was a really cute and really nice idea that you kind of broke it down into like these were the first queens that eliminated. They all competed against each other. And then here's the next group of queens that got eliminated. They all compete against each other. And then here's the like all of them. And then the last like final kind of couple. I think it was just Jane and who was in it. Let me jump to my page here. 'Cause I thought I wrote it down. Maybe I didn't. No, I did. Yes, I did. Um, yeah. And then Juicy was only one in round 3.
Correct. She
And then
she was lucked out or given a prize spot that she didn't have to keep lip syncing over and over and over again because she was the last one out.
right.
Basically, they let her be the one that got to sit and watch pretty much all of it.
Yeah. So I kind of really like that format. I think that that is something if they need to keep doing that because that I feel makes it a little bit more kind of I don't want to say competitive, but like realistic in a way. Like
Correct, because if you're a queen that was like one of the first outs, like say the first
mhm,
4 or 6, and you have to lip sync a couple of times, you're really proving yourself because no one really got to see you much as
right.
far as like the latter queen. So, and
Yeah.
why would the last queen to leave that's on the bracket have to keep doing it over and over and over and over again just to prove that they earned their spot towards the end?
Right.
Unless there was a
Yeah.
lot of riggery and everybody
Yeah.
felt they shouldn't have been there. But that's
Right.
a whole other issue.
And I mean like I thought it made for a good lips the SmackDown. I think
Hmm.
it worked really well. I also really enjoyed it being like all RuPaul songs. I don't know why I felt that that was a good like I don't know. Like I'm on the like I'm in
Yes.
this weird space.
Yep.
Like
Yep.
like
Yep.
like I like it because I like you if anything else you should freaking know RuPaul songs. Like it's her fucking show. And
Correct.
nothing else. Um but like there's obviously only so much you can do with like RuPaul's not giving you the ballot. Like I mean, she probably has some more like maybe some lower key like B side albums. That's an old saying. Like some like other like flip side like low like numbers that aren't really well known that might have been good to have. But yeah, I think I like this format and I liked this choice of how they did it and it being RuPaul. So
I I am on the fence as well. A part of me was
yeah,
like, "Oh, okay, this makes perfect sense." the fact that they were kind of in on it, and Rue
Yeah.
talked about the fact that it was all the songs they had licensing for, but then also made a joke about how she owes them 4 cents or $4 or whatever. Like,
Yeah.
I was like, okay, so are you kind of calling out the humor or the irony of it? I don't know. It also makes me wonder how much of a money savings move that was, because then they only had they didn't have to pay anybody for a single song. You know what I mean? Like, they were all a part of the oeuvre. Like, they're all part of the catalog. So I agree with you. Yes, the
Right.
queens should know definitively all of these songs. But I would have appreciated, like, the final one was like a wild card old school song, like off of, Supergirl or Super
Like
Queen
maybe
or
Supermodel.
yeah, well, off of that album, but like one of the ones that people don't necessarily know, so only like us old bitches would be like, yes. Anyways,
Who you calling old?
yeah, black don't crack. Anyways, so that being said, yeah, no, I agree. I thought the brackets were reasonable.
Yeah, I like
That was
it. I like the
that
format.
was one acceptable side of how they handled the SmackDown. I'll talk about the other part later.
Like, okay, girl, you got something to say? I guess we can talk about it later.
Well,
Speaking
when I
of
get to it, you'll know it. It's not a surprise. Yeah.
Speaking of which, like, how about you? What was your serve?
So I like the fact that they had a live audience for performing. So I liked that the SmackDown and the finale had a live audience in the room. It changes the energy dynamic a ton for a performer to have people there that are actually, potentially responding to how you're performing. Now, the downside is it's all central casting, or it's employees and or family members of World of Wonder, like, because the NDA, like, lockdown disclosure of detail stuff is incredibly high. So I was thinking about that, because I will say, as a sidebar, I was disappointed that we no longer go to the theater anymore, but I think that was an expense thing and a people just like saying all sorts of shit and spoiling things ahead of time kind of issue. So I like that there are people in the room, even though they're all very beautiful, like, audience members. Not a dud in the bunch. So that's why I was like, this is central casting. Like, these are all, like, models and shit. But that being said, I appreciated that like there's an actual audience there that can kind of react to you,
Right.
as much as that isn't manipulated. And I'll get to that later. I'm just, I'm having some feelings.
Oh, y'all wanted a twist, eh?
So,
Girl.
yeah.
Okay, go ahead.
No, it's fine. Let's move on.
No, but I agree.
Go ahead.
I agree. I like the idea of a cast. I like the idea of there being an audience, because I feel like that sometimes is missing on several things.
It's very difficult to gauge the performance on the stage if there's no audience. So by that I mean,
Right.
like,
Yeah.
recorded, like, parody commercial things is one thing, but like when they do the Rusical and there's nobody there but the judges, there is a part of me that's like, how much crickets are we not hearing?
Right.
Because they need a good, clear audio cut, but then again, they're lip syncing to a track, so does it matter? Like, it's so strange. Because the more I think about it, I'm like, you can't tell me all those high heels aren't clicking and clacking all over that stage and making all sorts of kind of noise. You know what I mean? Like, during the dancing and all this stuff. So I'm like, but also to have an audience there would be different, because then they're actually responding to the performance, but maybe they don't do it because they're too scared or it's too risky, because like they could really deliver a dud on stage.
It could be a really terrible Rusical. I'm just going to say it.
Correct. Because it has happened in the past. So,
Same.
yeah. So I think it,
anyway,
I think it was a serve that they had the live audience there. Yeah. It adds a little something. So,
yeah.
All right, let's move on to swerves. Damon, okay, what are you giving a swerve to? I'm very intrigued. I read it, but I'm like, okay.
I put down the final challenge, the um Good Morning Bitches, like morning talk show,
Okay.
somewhat improv slash uh like doing it in pairs. It's the finale. It's the top four. We're apparently bringing it down to three.
Hmm.
Um, why are we doing a group challenge? That's number one. Why are we then doing a um improv challenge? And then why this like theme? This good morning. It had nothing to do with anything. It didn't give me anything about like add more to the queens. It didn't give me much to like go on. It just felt like a last minute choice. Let's put something together as opposed to some of the things that they've done in the past. Um, makeover, song performance, musical, something else needed to happen
I mean,
because this felt very, they kind of had to rely on each other, and it very much felt like
mhm.
um a very heavy scaled situation. Because
I will say this. Well, I agree with everything you're saying. The 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 takeaway in doing this particular challenge was you proved whether or not you had enough awareness on how to adjust and address. And it was abundantly clear that one queen was just not reading the room and not paying attention and not getting it. And that's why she left. And I hate to say it that way, but I was like, girl, like, what are you doing? Like,
mm,
and yeah, you can blame it on the edit if you want to, but that's not all an editable thing. Like, your behavior was captured on camera. The way you decided to bulldoze was captured on camera. Like, so like you really, it became across as like a lot of nervous energy and not willing to like
right.
banter and play. So yeah, it was a little strange that it was 2-on-1 as an interview segment. Is really what it comes down to. Like, it's a live interview piece, so whether you're interviewing another person and you're dealing with that, it is a little
Hmm.
strange that you're not paying attention. I think if there were two people to interview, there would have been a little bit more balance. But even
Hmm.
so, like, you should be able to learn how to like lob the conversation back and forth and like make it relevant, and you know what I mean? And like, and timing was a huge piece of it, and that just wasn't happening.
No.
So to
Like
me, it was a challenge. I also agree
mm,
it didn't quite make sense to do it right
no.
as the last thing.
Yeah. Yeah. That's my main thing. It just felt like a weird, like this one could have been nice to have done like when there were six queens.
Okay.
Like just like a couple of episodes ago, just to give it like a feel. Um,
I make it more like The View, where it's like a panel discussion talk show
yeah,
kind of like
or either
thing.
that, or even if we're gonna do the same thing,
Hmm.
you have because to be blunt, you had two queens, Mikey and Darlene, who knocked it out of the park.
Right.
Like banter, everything was great. Once they got in the groove, they were in the groove for the whole thing, and it worked so well. As opposed to the other two, who were clunky at best and also potentially inappropriate at certain points of time. It
Hmm.
just felt weird, and it just didn't land.
Yeah.
And I feel it would have been nice to have had the reason I'm saying six, like I'm fine with this being like higher up in here, but we could have had a like high, middle, and low. Like we could
Hmm.
have really gotten like a good like vibe.
Yeah.
Um, but that's just me. But anyway, that's hmm.
That's fair. Yeah. No, I get it.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Carrie.
So I said Midas too much, and I'm focusing on one very specific thing. It was Juicy Love Dion's gold look on the runway.
Mm.
I can't remember
Like
what the
the-
theme was.
was this the Drag Race eleganza?
Maybe
Like for the
opulence.
fight? Was it for the
It's not the finale.
for elimination? Okay, so that would have been drag excellence.
Yeah. It
Right,
just
I know what you're talking about.
it was too much.
Yeah.
Like, of all the things that she's delivered the entire season,
Mm-hmm.
I was like, what is this? What are we doing here? Like, it was so strange. It was kind of like, did you allow like your little nieces and nephews to help design this and put it together? Or did you just decide to take like flotsam and jetsam you found in the waters off the Florida coast and then like paint it all gold and stick it together? It was, and I'm not saying it was horrible. I didn't get it. Like, it was,
Yeah.
again, we've said this so many times. If you have to explain it in the confessional, in the narrative, in the voiceover, don't.
Yeah.
It just doesn't work. So if it doesn't make sense visually without an explanation, then it just doesn't make sense.
Right.
Unless that's your brand, like where it's all just wild, like crazy interpretation, mashup stuff. Then you don't have to explain it because that's just kind of what you're known for. And that was not the case at all. Like, she really had a good package. And this one thing I was like, huh? I was like, okay, this doesn't make any sense to me. I thought it was a swerve. I was like, nope, sorry, ma'am. Not
I'm looking at
a thing.
looking at this picture of the outfit on like the wiki,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm gonna say this: did this belong to somebody else?
There's that also. I kind of wondered if it was someone else's because it doesn't quite exactly look like it fits right.
Right.
It's just
it could
a little bit off.
it could be her. I'm looking at the picture. Hi everybody. So my other monitor is over here. That's why I'm looking this way. Looking at this picture, there's the waist feels bigger than her.
Yep.
Like it almost feels like it's not quite to the swallowing phase, but it feels like it's just a little bigger. And then there is a lot going on here, and there's a lot of it on the ground, on the floor, but it doesn't look like it was meant to trade. So my concern is that this was meant for a queen that was maybe a few inches taller, maybe 4 or 5 inches taller,
And a few inches wider.
and maybe a couple of inches wider.
Yeah.
I don't know. Can I say it? I'm going to say it. I feel like it may have been Athena's.
Wouldn't be surprised to me
Yeah,
if
but
she borrowed
again,
it from her grandmother. But
yeah.
yeah, I get it.
yeah, it's fine. If it's not, if this is all like off base, then forgive me. And this was yours, and you got this made, and someone made this for you specifically. That's okay, cool. I think maybe something got missed in the brief, and it just feels weird looking at this.
Right.
Looking at it again, looking at it like this next, it feels off.
Right.
Yeah.
No, I get it. That's fair. So moving on to Nerve.
I have
Damon.
nothing.
Okay.
I put nada, meaning I had nothing. I didn't.
Okay.
I didn't. I kept thinking about something, and I tried and I what was going, and I was like, I don't have anything.
So that being said, I have only one thing, and that's breaking the spikes. So in the finale, not in the finale, in the lip sync between Juicy and Nini Coco, she had those big, huge, long silver spikes on her titties, her tatas, that were one piece. And she does that routine, does the lip sync for the longest time, and then at a certain point towards the end, makes the decision to break them.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't show the break but you see that like now it's no longer connected, and like, you know, and she does a couple things with them, and then, you know, the aftermath of that. And the reason why I thought that was nerve was because we know Nini Coco made all her looks. Like, as much as I know,
Right.
she made 100% of them. And so that's an engineering, no pun intended, um, you know, decision to break your outfit. Like,
Mm-hmm.
Juicy, because she's a dancer, had a lot of reveals. Like, a lot of her outfits was very, I was ready to do so. Like, she gets out of the outfit into a dancing outfit, like, so she's always able to do a thing. And Nini's got to tromp around on stage in a call-up gown that doesn't let her move very much. Like,
Yep.
so I did think that was nerve to like take your own design of your own thing. And I think at a certain point she was like, fuck it, what do I have to lose? And if I have to remake it, I'll remake it. Like, as opposed to I spent $7,000 on this and like I have yet to pay the designer, so I don't think ripping it into shreds is probably the ideal thing to do in this moment. Like, that's a whole different mental calculation as a
Back.
performer. So I really was like, that took nerve to be like, fuck it. And she didn't do it in the very beginning. Like,
Yeah.
a lot of queens, sometimes they go straight into a reveal, like right at the jump. And
Right.
you know, or they do a thing and you know, and it's immediately and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So
Juicy was out of that outfit in like 2 seconds. Like the lip sync started and she was like, whoop.
yeah. Yeah. And I was like, okay. And
Yeah.
was it Bianca that was talking about like you left no time, like you could have waited a little bit before you took it off or something. So I was just like,
Yeah.
yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I agree. I think it's very interesting. It does take a little bit of nerve to be like, I'm just gonna to win this. I have to do something. So fuck it, break it.
Right.
Like break it off and
Right.
if she did herself, she hopefully knows how to remake it. And if she
Right.
doesn't, if she didn't make it herself, which I doubt she did, um, then hopefully she's like, I hope my designer could forgive me.
Well, I mean, the only thing that didn't happen with them that I kind of wondered if she was wanting to happen, but again, how well you make the garment will prevent this, was like, I wondered if she wanted to take them off altogether. Like, I wondered if
Hmm.
she was like, can I just snap it and then use them as like props? Like,
Hmm.
to extend my arms or do some things or treat one like a cane, or you know, like I
Yeah,
don't
yeah,
know. And a part of me is like, the only way that would have worked is if you had magnetized them to like a
yeah.
breastplate or something underneath to make that work, because otherwise you probably, you know, super glued the fuck out of them, and like, so they're not going to come off the dress. Like, that's the whole
Right.
point. So yeah, no, I think that's interesting.
Yeah.
Shall we move on to our next segment then?
Let's do it.
All right, so now it's time for snaps and eye rolls, aka the highs and the lows of these particular last three episodes. So these are our high points and low points, aka hits and misses. So Damon, what are you giving snaps for?
I'm giving my snaps, and I put down Nini giving it all. I know we were
Okay.
just talking about the breaking the spikes.
Mm-hmm.
I want to talk about the finale.
Okay.
I will
Yes.
own going into the finale. My top two were Mikey and Darlene.
Okay.
I felt Mikey had the track record. Mikey had the like the go with it.
Mm-hmm.
Darlene had a lot of the charisma, had a lot of the fun. She had this very like personal story with Rue. There was all of that going on that I felt like, okay, that puts her in there. So I'm like, and then there's Nini, and I'm like, okay, Nini's talented. She's doing really well. She's doing really calculated risks. She's very much into that. Baby, that lip sync, that what was the name of the number? Shit. I'm
Her
so like
number, was it called Stimulation, I think?
stimulate. Yeah.
Yeah.
Stimulate. That number
So, okay,
and that
I
performance
only have one critique of that entire thing. And this is
was it.
to go to show how nitpicky it is because it was so fucking good. And I apologize for interrupting you. I wish they'd put a table skirt around the table.
Right?
I just wish they'd put a table skirt around the office table because instantly I saw that she had boots on.
Right.
And I was like, that's not fun. There's a reveal coming. I mean, obviously the oversized jacket, shirt, and tie thing is that there's a reveal coming, but I was like, but that opening,
Yes.
I was like,
Yeah.
oh, okay,
Oh.
we're doing this. We're doing
Oh.
this.
We're doing that.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. Like I
Like the
said,
look on Ciara Mist's face from the audience was a great edit. Whether or not it happened in live in that actual moment, it was a great like pan to kind of thing because I was like, yes, like she is
yeah.
delivering a definitive like themed kind of like performance, and I was
Yes.
like,
This
okay,
that number was I think Bianca said maybe one of the Bianca or Bob, I think one of them on pit stop said that there was like the one of the best like numbers ever in the finale, and I think it may have been Bob, and I kind of agree.
yeah,
Like I genuinely love that was great. Like no notes. I mean, maybe the tree skirt or not tree skirt, the skirt or something. I just it choreographed. This felt like I think even Nene in the when they're watching it live, she called it
yes,
her VMA like
mm-hmm.
performance, and I'm like, yeah, this was. I don't know who choreographed this. I don't know if you like. I don't think you. I love you, Nene, but I don't think you have the choreography like Bug. But like whoever put this together, if whether it was done for you or I'm assuming with you, props, like props, because this was
Yeah,
exquisite and so well done, and it just showed me that you were fighting with everything you had to
yeah,
make to get to where you were, um and then your performance in the final lip sync was really good too. Don't get me wrong, I still think I when the number was done, I was uncertain.
yes. I definitively felt she made it to the bottom, to not to the bottom, to the top two.
Mm-hmm.
Like no matter what, she was going to be in the top two. There was also a moment where I was like, oh, there's a probability that she could win,
Uh-huh.
and I don't know how I feel about that
Mm-hmm.
because I don't think on track record I'm fully in that camp,
Right.
and yet that performance, I was like, oh,
Mm-hmm.
okay, like polished,
Mm-hmm.
professional, poised, like really put together, like got it.
Yeah.
Don't
Yeah.
don't know what to say.
Yeah. It was such a anyway. So that's my I'm giving my stats. I mean, we know the ending. She didn't win, but good Lord, did she put up a fight. Like,
Well, and good lord to help the queens when she comes back for All Stars because she is indomitable in several ways. Like she may not be the best camp comedy queen, but she is highly technical and
mhm,
can probably continue to make all of her looks, continue her
mhm,
aesthetic of certain things that not everyone's necessarily down with, but like there's definitively like a Nini Coco like style and
mhm,
concept, and so yes, she's going to be very interesting to watch. I will say this about her. She reminds me a little bit of like previous queens that just needed to cook more. And by that I
mm,
mean there's a part of me that's like I need you to get in touch with yourself and be like more rooted in who you are and comfortable with the uncomfortable. Like, because that's, I think, her biggest challenge was like when it came to the improv and the other stuff was that she just wasn't as loose or fluid or willing to go there because like execution wise, if she has time to commit and memorize and rehearse and work on things, she does really goddamn well.
Fair.
She can deliver. But on the other side of it, she's not. So that's a part of me where it's like, I hope she doesn't come back to All Stars like immediately. I kind of want her to cook and wait a bit and do some other stuff and then like hopefully improve some of those other skills to make her that much more of a powerhouse challenge when she does return.
Yeah. That's fair. That's fair. How about you, Gary?
I said Darlene taking notes. So the fact that Darlene came back as Flo-esque Alice, like diner 50s, like, you know, 60s waitress.
Kiss Margaret.
I thought that was amazing. And I was like, good on you. Like, you're showing them that you were listening and that you get the reference and whatever. And I just really appreciated that she did that because it seemed as she got further in the season, she became more authentically herself and realized that, yes, this kooky, weird, trashy, like campy thing is a thing and it works for her and she can continue to do it. And like people like when she leans into it. So she's another one I'm interested to see what happens if and when she returns for an All Stars in the future. And the reason why I say if is because I also wouldn't be surprised if in another 5 years she just retires. And she just says, been there, done that, happily married, moving on, doing another thing.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past her. I agree with you, Gary. I don't know if she would come back for All Stars. I think she did what she wanted to do, if that makes sense.
Right. I think she proved to herself what she can achieve. She made top 3. I mean, 3rd place is not a bad place to be in.
No.
And as the running gag kind of goes with American Idol for so many years was like, baby, it's not the winner, it's the runner-up that actually gets, you know, the better spot. So, you know, I kind of feel the same way a little bit at Drag Race. Is like, if you make it to top 4, top 3, like the fact that you don't win isn't necessarily the end of the world, Saphira.
Right.
You know, so because sometimes shit just gets robbed from you. That being said, I'm not bitter, just disappointed. So the truth is, like, if you are that good, you will be fine.
Yeah.
You will just be fine with whatever you choose to pursue. So
right.
Yeah.
Right.
And if
I
she
agree.
doesn't come back, if she doesn't come back for All Stars, maybe they'll have her back as like an improv comedy queen, like coach or something. You know, just as a quick little cameo spot.
She's an LA girl, so it's
true.
She's an LA girl. Yeah, so like it's not hard or difficult for her to be like, hey, hey Darlene, what you doing?
Right.
Uh-oh. Why don't you come to this? And so for everyone, like the thing that has been coming around a lot is technically she is the only queen. She has never lip synced for her life, lip synced for the crown, lip synced for the win. She has never done that. I don't like saying that she's never lip synced because girl, they lip sync to everything. So don't say that. But like,
right, she didn't lip sync to compete to get something, either to stay in the competition or to win a prize until the end.
Right.
So there is something to be said for that achievement that she stayed safe for nearly the entire run and made it to the end, which is pretty rare, you know. And I'm not saying that like she was a sleeping queen or anything like that. Nobody thought that she, you know, kind of took another person's spot or whatever. I think she did prove herself towards the end. But that's also one of that's an interesting strategy thing, and I don't even know if it's strategy. Sometimes it's luck. If you just kind of like let other people take the limelight and be like, "That's okay, girl." Like, you can be loud, you can draw the camera attention, you can do all these things. I'm just gonna do me, you know. So,
Right.
yeah. So let's move on to eye rolls. This very much intrigues me. Damon, what are you giving eye rolls to?
I put down the reunion drama. So before the
Okay.
lip sync, like the lip sync Smackdown, whatever, they
Mm-hmm.
brought all the queens together, and there's all these like fun conversations.
Oh,
There's
okay.
the whole like Sierra's apparently dressed like Carrie, which girl, okay, bye. Like, like I get that you are feeling a certain kind of way about the Rate of Queen and you getting, eliminated, but no offense, dear, you kind of did it to yourself. Um, just gonna say it, kind of did it to yourself. And then there's the other drama of back to Sierra and Jane commenting about the scraps and you're saying how you would have made it work. And I kind of want to be like, Jane, I love you, but there was a lot of there was a lot of feelings, quote unquote, for like winning the challenge, making it happen. You did it, and like I get that you want to like think maybe it was sabotage, and maybe it was. You know what? I don't. But realistically, at the end of the day, it shouldn't matter. You got it. You rolled with it. You did it, and then you won. Move on. Moving on.
I hear you on that. I think Jane's perspective was trying to call out the bad gamesmanship.
Fair.
I think she was trying to put Sierra in a certain light and be like, did you or did you not sabotage that trunk full of fabric? And
Mm,
Sierra wouldn't admit it at first. And I think that's what pissed Jane off, was that Sierra just wouldn't own it. Because it was
mm-hmm.
super obvious when Jane held up bolts of fabric and there are huge ass holes in the middle of it, what nobody would ever do. Like, you would cut fabric in a certain way to like minimize, like it would make sense if there was like big chunks missing in corners, or it was just long strips. But like, to hold up a whole like 3x3 or 4x4 piece and to see a big ass hole in the middle, like you failed at making a homemade glory hole girl. Like that is not how that works. I think that was what really kind of bothered Jane about it, was like, they all knew going into it there was something about these suitcases they had to pack or make. And I think she just wanted Sierra to be a big girl and own it. And Sierra wouldn't at first. And I think that's what set her off all the more. And I get
Mm-hmm.
that, like, she just let go and move on. And yes, she won. But I think she wanted Sierra to own it and be like, yes. And instead, she wouldn't own it. And I was like, that would piss me off. I'd be like, whatever, girl. Like, if you don't want to own it, you don't want to look like a bad egg, that's on you. The reality is, it looks like you sabotaged it. The whole world knows it. Move on. Yeah,
Yeah.
it was. I agree. Ciara was
Yeah.
like, I was like,
Like it was
oh,
just
special,
it
special
was just
stuff.
it's just the drama, and it just felt really weird. I guess that they need to have something. Um, I guess
Yeah.
they needed to have something. I will say I'm glad that they addressed the Blush situation, and Briar essentially could not, lip sync, which
I
I think really
found that
sucks.
interesting.
Yeah,
Like they
but
talked about it, and it was obvious that time had passed by the time they all got back together. So they didn't
hmm
do the SmackDown immediately after like the other parts. Time had passed. I don't know how much time had passed, but a
hmm
little bit of time, because Breyer then talked about, like, the septic condition, the sepsis, and like, which is it is honestly, it's a very big like medical deal and very dangerous.
hmm
And so
yeah,
I was surprised that they not that they brought it up, but that it impacted that she couldn't compete in the lip sync. And I was like, oh, very interesting. Like, in a weird way, I kind of wonder if there had been some concern about her returning at all.
Mm.
You know, not that you can't travel, but it's like, what are you going to do? So
Yeah.
it did pose an interesting circumstance.
Yeah.
For them. So, but that's fair.
Okay,
So,
Gary, you're gonna have to explain yours.
I have two things. The first one is production's balls. So let's go back to the whole live audience for performing thing. And this ties into that. So we get to the Smackdown, and yes, I like the brackets. I like how they put it all together, and yet we still have that fucking gold hopper, only now it's not Bruno, you know, big dick Brazilian Bruno, standing there, you know, running the crank. Instead, we got this new other dude, which it sounded like Rue never knew his name and like kept guessing every time she said it. It never sounded confident. I was like, what is going on here? But they like, it's still looking like riggery, and it just bugged the shit out of me that like we're still doing the balls thing, and I'm like, if we're doing it authentically, then if you're going to do it right, you would have them all in a box that's sealed, that like a queen reaches into, and there's a camera inside the box with a light, and it shows their claw like grabbing a ball and pulling it back out, and nobody knows what it is until the queen shows it. But no, we have to do the hopper thing and blah 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 blah, and then he has to kind of like, and I'm like, okay, so did they film him with every single ball like pre the queen showing up, and then like they just said all the names out loud, and then like they just inserted it and they knew that the sequence they wanted it in? Anyways, it's still too much bullshit for me. Hence it gets an eye roll. Yeah, it was standard, cute, funny that, you know, RuPaul kept making all these like, you know, double entendre jokes about like balls and whatever. But I was like, again, this just looks like any other time you've done this. There's nothing unique. There's never a constant camera on that like apparatus showing us what's happening. And they never roll it right. Like it's always, I hate to say it, these guys look hot for a lot of people, not necessarily for me. But like they don't crank it. Like if you watch it and they move it around, the balls stay in the same sequence from left to right. They don't bounce around and move really a whole lot. They all just kind of stay in the same place.
That's the point. I'm sorry. That's the fucking point. Either the balls are already set there. They don't trust anyone to like they have to do it in a certain. I'm just putting it like that. They're doing this in a certain way. Like it's all like riggery, and so they can't have the balls move too much because then it reveals names. Because like notice, hey everybody, look at the fucking thing. Like you always never see the top of the other side of the ball. If it were moving like it's supposed to be moving, like the names would be like cattywampus in the thing. You would see someone's name pointing up. Like that's how it works. Like that's why when they normally do like power balls and all those things are into like enclosed so you don't see anything. But we have to see it because we have to know that they're there. But it doesn't fucking matter because like just like put like a it's like I'll just throw this out there. I go to RuPaul's Drag Race Live. I've been to the Vegas show. They have for the finale lip sync that they do as part of the show, they have a big like rotating spinner wheel that's a screen. It's the screen and all of the queens' pictures are on there, and it always lands on two queens, and it's always going to be these certain queens because we know how it's going to work. Like that's just the way it is. It's already been picked because why wouldn't it be picked? So just do that. Just give us the rotator. Just make it all digital. We don't need the balls. We don't need this. We don't need the shenanigans. We do because we know. We know it. You're not doing it. We know it's not work. It's not doing what you're supposed to be doing. Right. It's not random. It's not chance. You've already picked it out. So just fucking just put it on a screen. Give us some pictures. Give us some digital imagery, and just make it be like that thing. Like, just do that. Balls are shit. We don't need some like pit crew bullshit guy. Like, I mean, granted, it's great eye candy. You can have a guy standing next to a screen and just like hitting a button, like same fucking anyway. Oh, I know you were mad about it.
I'm so amused that I just had a little rant of a bitch, and you just like took off like a rocket, and I was like, okay, got feelings much, girl?
I'm just like I said, like we're 18 seasons into this show, and like of all the things that we don't need, we know there's shenanigans and buffoonery and riggery and what have you going on. Let's just call it what it is and just do it. Like,
Right.
it's just that simple. Like, we don't like it. Just make it be a thing. Let it be a thing. Let it happen. Like, just don't do all this shit. Like, just fucking just call it. Like, Rue just randomly remembers the queen's name and calls it out. Like that would be better than all of this.
I think
No,
they
she
should. I
couldn't
think they
remember the
should do.
queen's
I think they should do thumb wrestling
name.
with nails on.
Lord.
All right. So my second eye rolls. There was no audience for Mother.
In the finale?
Yeah. Go back and watch it. No audience for Mother. That entire performance, there was no audience. And I got confirmation. There's a short on YouTube of Dita calling it out. She's on a panel at a drag show or something. I don't know, because it's not Roscoe's, I don't think. But she's there, and there's a lovely like black queen who's like the host, and they're talking, and Dita calls it out and says, because she says, what was it like to see, Rue perform? She's like, none of us saw Mother perform. There was nobody in the room. That happened before any of us got there. And she's like, we never saw any of that. She did it all by herself. Like, and I was like, I knew it, because watching the edit, I was like, there's nobody in the room. There's no audience. Like, that's all clipped and like audio edited, like in magic, that it looks like there was an audience, because every time you got to a wider shot with the dancers and there was like possibility of an audience on the left or right, they edited it just enough. You never got to see anybody sitting there. I was like, nope, there is nobody there for that whole thing, because of all the times that Rue has performed, this is one of the better ones. And I was like, nobody was there to see it. Probably because that was the 12th take or something. Like, there's just no way that was a live thing. And that frustrated the shit out of me, because I was like, that is a false bill of goods that you are selling to the audience, that they think if they were ever to have a chance to see RuPaul perform, that they're going to get that. And I'm like, oh, baby, you're not going to get that. Not at all. Never, ever, ever. She's never been known to be a hoofer, and she still isn't to this day. And I love her dearly to a certain point, but I thought that was shenanigans of the highest degree. I'll see if I can find the link. I'll send you that. I'll send you the link of Dita talking about it. And I was like, yes. She like pulled the curtain back, and she was like, nobody was there. Nobody saw any of that.
Yeah. Hey. I am literally shook.
It was a good fake out.
Yeah, it's making me like, dude, I'm gonna
because no one's ever been there before. It's like, so anytime she does those little like musical things, like promoting her new song or her new whatever, like it's usually just the judges that are there. Even this time, there wasn't hardly, I recall, any cuts or anything like that. It was just her and performing. And then I was like, well, that kind of sounds like audio layover of the audience, or like the applause or the what. I was like, nope. Like all of that, because Dita calls it out. She goes, those reaction shots, she says in this short, I'm going to have to send it to you. Dita goes, they were reacting to us. not her. Like when we were on the stage and we came on and we did like our entrances or whatever, that was them reacting to that. That is not them reacting to Mother. And I was like, whoa.
You mean, is it Vita or
Vita, sorry.
Dita? Vita. Okay. I'm like,
No, it's Vita. My bad. No, Vita was talking about it. I was just like, I felt so vindicated. I was like, because I called it out as I was watching it. I was like, nobody's in that room. It's just the crew. There ain't nobody else there with Mother watching her perform that number. So, anyways, when I find the link, I'll send it to you. It's a short on YouTube, but I was just like, yep, that's the truth.
uh-oh.
So I just call eye rolls on that because I was like, that's so disappointing. Like, we already know that the whole thing is controlled, but the fact that like you put that edit together to make it look like that audience was in the room when she performed at the opening, I was like, no.
Yeah.
We all know you're not Diana Ross, so let's just move on.
Yeah.
So that being said, I did want to look at a couple of images as we are in the wrap up. We kind of talked a little bit about this. So if you watched online, there's this clip of the top 3 queens reacting live to the finale. God bless Darlene. This is like some of the craziest shit I have ever seen out of a queen.
Every time I look at Darlene, I go, did you just like wake up and be like, close your eyes and just like go to your drag con, just go and like pull like 2 or 3 things, and you're like, that's it. Like that's what I want to wear.
I mean, this but here's the thing is though, she spent time putting this together. So you've got primary colors, you've got green, blue, red, big chunky red bald necklace kind of looking like Betty Rubble. You've got green Muppet like fake hair fringe. You've got blue tights with fishnets over top, those big clunky shoes in black, the leopard dress, the Peg Bundy red bouffant, the big blue like garage door eyeshadows. I mean, like it is so definitive, and the belly bump. Like that was the craziest thing to me. And then on top of it, she verbalizes like the joke is she's like, first comes marriage. And I was like, oh, now I get it. Because she got married to her other half, like between the filming and the airing. So yes, so that was the whole intention of that. And then when she finds out that she, didn't make it to the top 2, which they all knew that, she imitates it like her water's going to break and she's going to give birth, which for a moment I was like, is this a stunt? Like, is she really going to push something out? And then I love how they're like, oh, it's just gas.
Yeah.
I was like, okay, girl. Okay. So anyways, I just thought that it was a fun deal between the 3 of them. Okay. Nene was going through it, y'all. Like, during this, Nene was like, like she was so like pent up and nervous. I mean, Mikey was too, but Mikey was like, precariously nervous. Nene, on the other hand, was like putting it out there. I think Mikey was internal and Nene was external, like in terms of how they were handling things. But I was really proud of them, and what they presented. And then they find out that, Mikey wins. So it's obvious to me that they filmed the 2 winners, like both of them winning, because of how the whole thing played out. Mikey, honestly, I thought was going to hyperventilate and have a panic attack, like breakdown when she found out she won, which says to me that both her and Nene went into this live airing thing not really knowing who was going to win, which, to be fair, seems accurate. Like you said, like Nene killed it in the solo performance with the backup singer thing. And kind of held her own in the lip sync, So,
I genuinely like when the finale lip sync, the lip sync for the crown was done. I was not 100% certain who won. Like I was not 100%. I kept going like, okay, I saw what they did. I like Nene. I'll say this: Nene can perform. I want to see Nene perform live. Like,
Mm-hmm.
I feel she is a consummate performer.
Yeah.
She knows how to take a number and do something really amazing with it. And I feel like she did that with the last, like, the lip sync for the crown.
Mm-hmm.
And that was what I was like, oh, like, this is really, really good. Um, the prop purse notwithstanding. Um,
Girl.
but
that was
but
some
the
funny, unexpected shit. I'm sorry. The fact that the purse was a puppet and she used it for the other vocal track, I was like, you fucking bitch. I was like, what is this? And I was like, oh, that's dangerous. That's dangerous because Mikey didn't have anything like that. And Mikey also didn't do a reveal. Like, for some reason, I thought that suit was like, I thought the chaps were going to come off or something, and it would have turned
I
into
thought
like a
something was
dance
gonna
thing.
come. Yeah, I thought it was gonna something was gonna. I thought like there gonna be some like pasty like tata removal things or something was gonna happen. Like I felt like there was gonna be something.
Yeah,
But it could be that she chose, like maybe it did, but she chose not to do it, which is
true.
True. Fair. Um,
Yeah.
But what was I gonna say? It was nice, and it was very challenging. And Gary and Jim and I were contemplating. It could technically be, they could do, it would be a lot of recording, but you can do any of them winning. You can do because you can do
wondered about that.
Because you could potentially do, because there's three,
right?
So that then becomes like there's three lip syncs, like three rotations of lip syncs.
But the downside is, if they did all three, which I don't think they did, but if they did all three, then you would have had multiples of the final two.
Mm-hmm.
So it would have had to have been Darlene with Nene, Darlene with Mikey, and Mikey with Nene.
Mikey and Nene. That's it.
So yeah, there would have been what, like three versions of that.
Yeah,
which they would have been exhausted from.
Yeah, three versions and three lip syncs. Each queen would have had to lip sync twice. Possibly double that because they probably have to do multiple angles because we know how they are. So is it possible? Could they have done that? Yes. Would they have done that? I don't know. I don't think they would have done that.
I don't think they did it because of how Darlene showed up at the live, like, airing. She did not look like she was ready to put a crown on.
Fair.
So I think so she knew going into it, the gag was like, I'm just going to be stupid because that's my thing. So that being said, so I love the fact that, like, they're there for each other and they're supporting Mikey and putting her her crown on. So Good Morning America, God bless her. The very next morning, at who knows how many hours later after, getting the crown and that at live, is on there doing a segment, and honestly, she looked good. Like, I was really kind of impressed. And this hair, I think, is a strategic callback to RuPaul. And I can't remember quite what it is, but there's infamously a wig that she did with these huge barrel curl shine, like, pieces. And I can't remember which one it is, but I'll think of it eventually. That being said, there's a reason why I want to talk about this Good Morning America thing. Notice anything, girl?
Is it a different scepter?
It is. I also thought it was a different fucking crown, but it isn't. It's the exact same crown. It just looks different with hair up versus hair down. That being said, when she was on Good Morning America and she had the scepter, I think, in the live winning thing, I was like, that don't look like the fucking scepter she just had a moment ago. So for those that are listening to the podcast, I literally clipped an image, like two of them, one from the crowning with the audience versus the Good Morning America piece the next morning, to show that the head of the scepter are completely different. They are nothing like each other at all. Like the one on the left that she actually got looks more like a fleur-de-lis, like kind of like scallopy edge. The one that she gets on the stage of when she was wearing the pinstripe outfit is very much more like kind of a Titan, kind of like semi like spiky kind of deal with lots of like circles and swirls in it. Anyways, and this is kind of a running gag joke that like you never really get the thing when you win, that they ship it to you afterwards or whatever. Like there's kind of this running joke about, I think, how like Raja never got to like lost her crown, like, or it fell apart or something. So like Fierce Drag Jewels, you know, makes this stuff. And Willow's kind of bitched about it a little bit, like, you know, that it's not necessarily always the best quality, yada, yada, yada. And a lot of the queens have admitted when they win, they don't travel with it because they don't want it to get broken. They don't want it to get lost. Lord knows if it goes through TSA, like you may never see it again.
Fact.
Because I think even Bob, was it Bob and Monet? They've kind of talked about this. They're like, no, it's put away. I don't take it anywhere. I don't do anything with it because they just don't want it to get lost or damaged, you know. And
right,
it's kind of crazy. So that being said, congratulations to Mikey Meeks. These are photos from the live when she found out afterwards. They got a nice promo image of her with the scepter and the crown, and then also when she was in front of the live crowd. I think this might be the Abbey in LA. I don't know quite where they do it. That's where they've done it in the past. They've done the recording, and she comes on stage and they introduce her, and you know, so very, very, very like proud of her. She's our new season 18 winner. So congrats to Mikey Meeks. I do think it's deserved. I feel like we ended a season without going, wow, it was super obvious who was going to win.
Right.
And also being super pissed about that. I will say this, though. Did you watch Bussy Queen's video today?
No, I haven't had a chance
to. Bussy kind of talked a bit about the online drama of like the hate that people were giving to some of the queens, including the new supposed season 19 that has yet to be revealed, like potential. And how Athena kind of like had a certain response, and you know, some of the queens are just like feeling a certain way about it. I will say this, because she also in the midst of that makes a point about like Jane getting cut when she did, and how that really was like the one time this season that a lot of people were irritated or upset with this season. And I think part of the reason why people were upset is because the edit and her performance made her look like she was on the trajectory to make the end.
Right.
Possibly win. Like she was so strong, and then she just kind of faltered. And there's a part of me that wonders if like something kind of clicked in her head, like as of when she like exited, that she was like, it's not that serious. And so her attitude's been a little bit different, because I will say this, I wasn't exactly a fan of her final look at the finale. From the waist up, I thought it was really great. I just didn't understand what happened with the bottom portion of the dress. Like, it was gold. It had all these like dragonfly things. I thought the clip in the nose jewel piece right over her mouth, like, was a very interesting choice. And then this weird red fabric wrap thing that went around, like, and then the very bottom, I was like, girl, like, what happened here? Like, it was just a little strange. But congrats also to Jane Don't, because she was chosen as Miss Congeniality. Boy, was that funny. Bussy talks about it. Bussy believes that Jane honestly had zero knowledge and zero expectation that she was going to win, because the moment she finds out, she is she looks absolutely gobsmacked. And Bussy says, like, Jane's laughing, like, at the announcement, like, is this really fucking happening? Like, I'm Miss Congeniality. But it's also funny because I think a lot of people thought Athena thought she was going to get it. And Athena, from the edit, handled it rather well and was happy for Jane. So, anyways, I was like, well, there's the thing. But, so Jane got an extra $10,000. So, yay to her for that. And could we just talk about Crystal for a moment? Damn. When she showed up to do the congeniality thing, Bussy talks about it. She was like, if you're going to show up and you're going to show out, like, knock it out of the park, girl. And I was like, okay.
She did a really great job. I was gonna say, like, she looked really amazing.
Yeah.
I love that she was like, oh, I'm only gonna be on stage for like 2 minutes.
Right.
Okay. I'm gonna show you.
Yeah. No,
how good I'm gonna look.
Yeah, exactly. She looked really, really good. Like, it was very impressive. And but yeah, congrats to Jane for winning Miss Congeniality. She got an extra $10K out of the deal. So yeah. Overall, this is a rough estimate. The total earnings of the season was $403,500. So Mikey Meeks obviously came out in the lead as the overall winner with $224,500. Nene Coco, $37,000, because as runner up you got, like, I think $25K. And then Darlene Mitchell got an extra 10 for third place, I think. And then Juicy Love Dion got, was it 25?
50
or 50 for winning the Smackdown. So, and in all of that, everything this season was cash except for a set of luggage that Jade don't won. So she got the only physical thing. So,
right.
There's that. But yeah, it was, honestly, I thought it was a good season. It was, of all the seasons, I do think, and maybe because I just watched it, it's one of the best ones in terms of, like, camaraderie. Like, I really do feel like this cast overall got along the best. I mean, yeah, there was little things here and there, but
yeah.
I do think there was more of the sisterhood aspect, but it wasn't quite kumbaya. But I think that's because they had some good personalities in this mix. We had some really good seasoned queens. Like, Vita was very much like Athena, like, the matriarchs, like, have been there, done that. I think Vita read the room and was like, okay, Athena, you do your thing, whatever, girl. Like, and so she just kind of stayed out of the way of Athena wanting to be the Grand Dame. But I think Vita's the one that has the old school, like, kind of class about her. And so she very much wanted to be seen a certain way. I mean, and she looked great in the finale. Like, I was like, wow, okay, that's a whole thing. So yeah, I think this particular group was a really good blend and mix. There's only a couple that stand out to me that I go, I don't know about them. Like, and it's interesting because I'm like, is it that we just didn't get to see much of them? Or is it their personality? Is it something else? And yet there always has to be, like, kind of those three segments. Like, we talk about it every season. Like, there's the pool of queens that we expect to leave soon, the ones that we're not quite sure about that usually make it to the middle, and then the ones that kind of stand out, and those are the ones that make it to the end. So,
right,
we had that yet again this season. So I'm looking forward to seeing what happens for Mikey. There's been a lot of, like, RuPaul girls doing some stuff on Broadway and off Broadway of late, and her whole, like, kind of backstory about having a BFA and, like, leaving that behind because she felt like that wasn't the fit for her anymore. Like, something kind of happened there. And yet she proved that she is all those things.
Yeah.
Even her number about being versatile, I was surprised at how double entendre it got. I was like, oh, you just said I can make you come 8 times a week. And I was like, okay, girl. I was like, I see what you're doing there.
Because she's on Broadway and they do 8 shows a week.
No, I get it.
That's what it was. That's the joke.
Sure it is. Yeah. So, as we wrap up here, any other closing thoughts that you have, Damon, on this particular season?
No. Big congratulations to Mikey Meeks for winning. I felt like once we got to this point, like we're around this point, I was feeling like you would after Jane kind of stepped away, you were my pick, and I'm glad I made it all the way to the end to that point. But props to Nene and Darlene for doing some really great work too. And Nene, I like I said, you did that, girl. Like I would be scared to go up against you in an All Stars in the future, if that's something you choose to do. Because
I would definitely think the competition's on if she comes in the room for an All Stars.
Right.
So, for sure. But do you have thoughts about how the season went, how it ended? There's plenty of ways you can contact us. You can go to our blog, cubsoutloud.com, leave a comment on there. You can send us an email, cubsoutloud@gmail.com. You can also call us, leave us a voicemail message. We can play it on the show or just discuss it. That's 361-COL Talk. That's 361-625-8255. Did I say that right? 361-265-8255. Anyways, social media online, you can pretty much find us as Cubs Out Loud anywhere. If you want to know like kind of what we're going to be doing, there's a calendar that you can see for the regular show, which is typically Sunday evenings, East Coast for the US. If you want to join the chat for COL Drag Race, you can go to tinyurl.com/telegram-COLDR. If you want to support us, there's several ways to do that. And first off, you can just give us money. Like, seriously, you can go to paypal.me/cubsoutloud and you can just like throw coin at us and we will gladly take it. Help keep the lights on. But there are other ways as well. You can go to zazzle.com/cubsoutloud and get some merch there. There are different items from apparel to household goods. So as Damon is demonstrating here, we have our own What's the Tea kind of coffee mug there with a Cubs Out Loud Drag Race logo on it. We also happen, like I said, to have apparel for merchandise stuff. Damon happens to be wearing from our Whatever series, Whatever the Queens Say These Days comic book bubble. Also, I happen to have the Consent Is My Foreplay series. This one happens to be the drag pride colors. So lots of things you can do there. If you want to, you can also become a patron at patreon.com/cubsoutloud for $1 or more a month and get the full unedited, as we like to say, versions, which includes the bookends and any things that we might normally cut out get to be included as well. So there are longer cuts and versions that you get there. And if you want to follow us, you can do that pretty much online by typing in Cubs Out Loud Drag Race. For the podcast of Cubs Out Loud Drag Race itself, you can get that as an RSS feed, as its own separate thing that you can load into your podcast player if you just want to listen to us. Obviously, Apple Podcasts, Google Play, Spotify, all those things. Damon, if people would like to get in touch with you, where would they go?
Let me unmute myself before I say something. If you wish to get in touch with me, you can find me as Theater Cup 79. That's TheaterCub79 on most related sites. Or you can find me as Pup Umbra 79 on Blue Sky. That Blue Sky is not safe for work. So if you want the safe for work stuff, you want DMA Gamer 79 on Blue Sky or TikTok. Getty.
If you would like to get in touch with me, you can pretty much find me anywhere online as Gerber73. Since I left the Twitter verse behind and I'm only on Blue Sky, I did not create a Drag Race profile on there like I did on Twitter, and I have been blessed to not be spoiled primarily. So I'm pretty happy about the way Blue Sky works. That I've like got a lot of that like filtered out, but you can find me on there
All
if you'd like. Otherwise, we will talk to you again, perhaps soon.
So,
Rumor has it there's another season of All Stars coming, so we'll see how that plays out. But with that, we're gonna say goodbye for now.
Toodles.